I would never, ever, ever part with either of them, but it has been the hardest year of my life.
I bet.
So, yeah. So we have had some successes, so they are pretty good most of the time.
Yeah.
But with the walking, so I followed lots of your videos, and I normally walk them separately because I can't. So as little bubs, I walk them together. Yeah. But then it started to get harder. He's a lot more reactive than she is. And it got to the point where I just couldn't deal with the two of them. So I walked them separately. Now I've really, tried hard.
You did?
And so start with her. She's a nervy dog. Walking wise, she's absolutely fantastic. Yeah. Pretty nervous about the dog. She'll stop and look. People, she'll kind of look at you, and if she thinks, you're all right, that's fine. Otherwise, she'll give you ride birth. This one, pigeon, dog, human. Okay. And we get that all the time. But he does lunging. Yeah. He's not a puller all the time. Okay. He's nice by your side and then lunge. Yeah. Then
bit of a cool sprint.
Yeah. You kind of go side and he stop and he comes back and good boy, give him a treat. Okay. A few more steps and then it's a lunge. Yeah. So sometimes the first 10 minutes of the walk are me stop.
Very unproductive.
But if we take them out together, because we think two of us should be able to cope, no. She goes into automatic, I'm walking on my back legs because I want to the whole time.
Yeah.
He will bark because he wants to be in front. Yeah. So because he's barking, she'll then bark. Yeah, okay. We find even indoors, isn't it? Because we have cats as well. Okay. One-on-one, if he takes the dogs out, so I've got just one dog at home. Yeah. They are amazing with the cats. Right, they'll sit with the cat. They're absolutely fine. Second, there's the two of them. It's
egging each other.
Yeah, pack mode instantly. Yeah. So help. The other thing is from November, I'm looking after our grandson a couple of times a week. He's only a year old. Okay. I want to be able to take the dogs out with him to the park. Yeah, absolutely. So, I just need help. Yeah,
absolutely. We need some breaks by the sound of it for you, Tesla. No, need some breaks. What is he reactive to? Life or more dogs, more people?
Well,
more kids? anything animated.
Yeah, I mean, but it's birds, dogs, and humans. So what I'm trying to do is, again, watching the videos, I we do it with both of them actually. Throw a treat down and say sniff, and he's so treat driven. This dog, okay, give his life for a treat, and we have special treats that are 2 words that they know because they're recall crap. Yeah. So I don't know why I just whispered as though the dogs would hear that.
Don't get offended.
Yeah. But so we have 2, so chicken we call chicky licky. Yeah, okay. And that responds. So if they're in the garden and they're barking at a pigeon or they've seen something move somewhere and they're barking, if I shout that or cheesy wheezy, which is squeezy cheese, they're there. Right, okay. So I do that when I'm out. I always carry a bit of dried chicken with me so that I can say the same thing. Sure. But it's just not enough.
Yeah. Probably quite inconsistent, I imagine.
Yeah.
Right, so what we'll do then to kick things off is have a very casual mooch in here. I'm going to go and bring a dog just to see if we can gauge kind of where things are at, the reaction that we get or don't get or whatever. Right. And then we'll just work it out step by step as we go.
Okay. We've put this picket fence up.
Yes.
Taste. Taste. Sniff. Sniff. Don't know. Taste. Sniff. Your butt. Taste. Sit. Sit.
Are you sure that's not enjoyable for you?
Sit.
Is that not what you signed up for?
Sit.
Righto.
Okay, we know. Just calm down a bit, please. Come on. I know. He's bigger than you. You're not having a treat now, boy. You're well in the bad books. I should say good books. She showed you true colours. He hasn't got the dog now. No.
But your best meerkat impression, Tesla?
So as you can see, they are incredibly well-trained dogs.
But they are adorable. So does that counteract it a little bit?
Oh, this counteracts it a lot.
So, but then see that you do sort of set her
Yeah, that's kind of what I was looking at, to be fair, because he obviously kicked off first, and she was kind of like, not really sure kind of what we're doing. Oh, well, you seem to be doing that, so I think I'll get. Now,
funny enough, we bought a bag of it. I bought a slip lead. Wasn't sure whether to use it because I think they're soft pallets. I'm not sure. We bought 2 halties.
Okay.
The back ones, which they're great with, but I've just started to train them with putting one on their nose.
Oh, okay.
So well.
I know.
Good dogs, aren't they? Aren't you impressed?
I'm impressed with how cute they are.
I know.
I have got to say thank you so much, Adam. I watch your videos. I've read your book back to back. I've just given it to our Sam, who's bought a Labrador pup.
Just remember to take Aaron at the end of the session.
Why don't people thank him?
No.
Well, I'll see how good he is.
The other day, he just trained the dog, and I walked out and I was like, thank you so much for all your...
Just when you need or want that extra leverage just to slow things down a little bit. We don't want him just pulling, and then kind of half conditioning himself that he needs tension to move forward, and then half choking himself at the same time.
Right, yeah.
With it being right up the top, Tesla, let's go. With it being right up the top, we can use pressure for less time rather than less pressure for longer, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it does make sense.
Yeah. Tesla, let's go, buddy. Good. Let's go. So instead of me just dragging him along like I would do in his normal collar or his harness, I can just use a moment of pressure, or I suppose you could view that as a correction, if you like, or a small pop, which is, at the minute, it's literally just a finger. Instead of me just kind of dragging and making it like negotiating, or a tug of war with him. Let's go, buddy. Good boy. Yeah, good boy.
Shut slowly. This
Good boy.
Let's go.
This is what I said to you
Let's
about
go.
playing in the
Good.
garden with them in leads.
Good.
He's actually training them.
side you.
It goes back to what I said about not having them on long leads. Did it too early. It just
I
Good shake.
Good.
Good.
Good lad.
God, he ignored the woman.
Lad.
Jeez.
Good lad.
Let's do that again.
we all
Let's go.
Ignoring him. Yeah.
I genuinely thought he was going to go then because of the fact he saw the lady walking, but
Good boy.
wow,
Good lad. He walks well as well, doesn't he, when he's like that?
it's a beaut.
Baby. Babes.
push this.
Good lad. Good boy. Good. Yeah, one more time.
I'd sit.
Good time. Okay, good.
Good boy. Well done.
Thanks,
See
babes.
what I mean about the running back?
Well done, buddy. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
So all the time we've been blaming him because it's Miss Perfect and it's not.
That's the thing. She's sitting here like this, and he's being trained. Now, if you have the trouble, she'll bounce around going potty, and then you can't train neither.
You can because you take her out of the room.
Yeah.
Good.
Sorry, but
Good boys.
good.
Boy.
What I'm doing there is just, I want to see if his brain's just going to disappear over there in what they're doing.
Yeah,
In an ideal world, I kind of want him to still be half aware of what we're doing.
yeah.
I don't need him to trot along staring at me the whole way, but if I stop, kind of be nice to know that he's acknowledged that.
Yeah.
So I stop.
See, on road, he's as good as gold. We
Yeah,
approach the
okay.
road. If I
Yeah.
say road, he stops. And
Yeah.
now I don't need to say it. He
Yeah.
stops.
Yeah, okay, that's nice.
Good as gold.
But then you've got a physical indicator there.
Yeah.
Yeah, whereas if you're in the park, for example, and he's kind of away with the fairies, and not, but we don't want to take that away from him. Yeah,
No.
that's I know this all sounds quite strict, but we just want him to be a little bit more with us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We want him to be inquisitive, but we want him to actually stay also partly
Correct.
focused on the fact that we're there.
And if he does kind of wander off a little bit, and he does hit the end of his lead or his long line or whatever, we don't want him to then just kind of try and get more and more and more. We just want him to go, oh shit, sorry, and then just come back this way.
Yeah.
Like this. House. They do. Somebody.
Good boy. Good boy.
It's just lovely to watch, isn't it?
Well, it is.
So
I know, you did very well too.
She's doing well. Just
Right, I want you to get comfortable using this. We'll start with Tesla for now. He can have the whole length of the lead
Right.
and just wander completely aimlessly. Okay?
Story of my life.
It ain't mine, to be fair. All I want you to do is occasionally just put a bit of a 180 turn in. I want you to relax your arm completely. That's it.
Okay.
Leash pressure, it's harder because they're so small, but leash pressure to begin with wants to try and kind of be directional. So you want to just drop the lead a little bit more and use horizontal pressure. Not completely horizontal because you're going to give yourself bad back, but I want you to just randomly chuck a casual 180 turning. Turning into him like you've just done, also turning away from him, just keeping him a little bit more in tune as to what you're doing and where you're going. And if he doesn't turn quick enough, then he'll catch a little bit of pressure at that point.
thanks.
Good boy.
That's if he gets far enough away from you to begin with.
Maybe we just hold it there a little bit so it's not quite still on the floor.
Good boy.
You sure you didn't swap him when you went that way? Let's go this way.
But if it was raining from 14, he did recognize it. Since you was fresh. But anyway, so going back to it, I just want to
Wow.
thanks.
Okay, so did you drug him?
Yeah, I swapped out all them treats with Valiums.
Great, can I have some?
Yeah.
Don't,
Yeah, well, yes.
Thank you.
There's one thing we don't.
Yeah.
Come.
That's a good.
Curl too.
What this helps do is, and I mean, as you can see, he's still using his nose. He's still inquisitive. He still wants to explore. And in fairness, he has got the length of the lead if he wanted it. But because there's no wrestle, for want of a lesser firm word, there's no tug of war, there's no dragging, there's no negotiating. It just helps slow everything down mentally for him as well.
see, normally what would be happening
Yeah.
is, so like there, he's seen something,
Yeah.
and but he'll just creep that dart
Sure.
and then stops.
Sure.
Dart.
What you'll find, good lad, what you'll find is that, because obviously this is the easy bit, we're going to have to start up in the ante soon, but when he has those moments where
So,
arguably it's involuntary as well,
Why?
where something just ignites within him and he goes before he even thinks about what he's doing. Obviously we need to make sure that he's not got tons and tons and tons and tons of leads.
But if, oh, good boy.
With a short, relaxed lead still, on a slip, if he does lunge, there's a much firmer consequence than if he's lunging in that harness.
right.
Yeah, which is going to potentially build drive, it's going to build frustration, it's going to give him more strength, and he's just going to boing along,
Yeah.
and then we're just going to put more and more pressure in as we just kind of march him away.
But does the time come where you can then go from a slip lead back into
Yeah,
a harness?
absolutely, yeah.
Right.
So, he's good guy.
Thing.
Yeah.
Well,
I'd rather go back into a harness at some point.
you've always got ways to transition and gradually wean. That's it, just keep him moving, nice and casual, relax the lead. Perfect.
Wow. Okay. See, again, my reaction is like, oh, here we go.
Oh no, don't get me wrong, he still gave you reason to.
Yeah,
But-
but not like he
but-
would normally have done.
Coco, as I'm sure you both already know, she doesn't really care. She's not fussed at all.
No.
However,
Good boy.
she does just feed off of him. And straight away she's all,
No.
what we're doing. And she is just more concerned about where he's going, really, isn't she? So, you see how we've got that tension on that lead?
Yeah.
And he's kind of just creeping along. What I want you to try and do, and this is going to be probably a 50-50 success rate,
Right.
when there is that tension in that lead, whether there's loads or just a tiny bit, where there's just no slack left whatsoever,
Right.
instead of just kind of restraining him back in position, I want you to swap that for one small,
Tap.
yeah.
Right.
And then the goal is to get that little bit of relax as fast as possible.
Right.
The longer the tension stays, the more it builds and builds and builds and builds and builds.
Right. Okay, so just small tugs.
Just a small little pop, and then we will gauge that, because there'll be times, like as you saw with me, when we're just mooching, where the tiniest bit of pressure is sufficient.
Yeah.
Then there'll be times where we're surrounded by dogs and his head's going to explode. That tiny little tug isn't going to really do anything. So you would then have to escalate depending on where he's at with his adrenaline.
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Oh, hot cocoa. Good boy. There you go. See, that's the other thing that I normally find. If I tell him he's a good boy and give him
Yeah.
a treat, that's when he'll lunge
Yeah.
straight afterwards.
Yeah.
Because I've done my bit, I got my treat.
Yeah,
I
so
can
there's
do
probably
this
two
now.
things going on there. One is timing, so we've got to look at that. But two is that good boy has become, like, it creates that conditioned response within him, where whether he wants to or not, his body goes, bosh, there's loads of adrenaline. And if that's combined with the fact that he's then kind of worried about what's going on over there, then that good boy actually becomes a straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah, the irony was he didn't there.
Yeah. But you can definitely see, and you can probably feel
Huge change.
the change from that side to that side, because now he's concerned about that dog. When you
Yeah.
feel those changes, as early on as you can recognise them, just that little pop, just like a little dab on the brakes. Yeah. But other than that, your situation, nothing changes. The boundaries don't change, the limitations, your pace, everything just stays the same. The introduction of another dog or person or whatever doesn't want to have that amount of effect on what you're doing in his
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't react too much either.
Correct. And I know that's easier said than done.
No, but even just that,
But-
he would never have done what he just did.
No.
And just walk.
What I'm
Although
gonna
he was
say in a
watching
sec,
it.
is what I'm going to do is, once I put my coat back on for the second time, honestly, I'm going to go and bring Hank back out again. We're just going to gauge the difference.
Okay.
The two changes initially is, one, they're going to be away from each other, and obviously two, you're on a slip lead. The third change that we'll introduce after, and I'll tell you when we might need it,
Boy, that
is this.
right.
That makes a noise.
Okay.
Yeah. Little black button on there. So hold that in your other hand, or for now, just stuff it in your pocket.
Right.
Don't go home with it. If I tell you to use it, then use it.
Right.
Yeah. But for now, we don't need to worry about it. That's just there as a little bit of a backup. Yeah.
Right.
So we can utilise a few things in one fell swoop.
Okay. No.
So a little bit of a pop in that lead. Tell him. This is also where you're going to
No.
probably start to decide where he's going to leave, enough, or whatever.
No.
Yeah. If I could demonstrate to you first, in fact. There's that.
Yeah, you're just doing short sharps. So I tend to still hold it.
Yeah. Good boy. Let's go.
Cause... No.
Nice. Well done.
No. No.
Say it again. Slightly shorter lead. That's it. Be a little bit more comfortable for you.
No. Good boy. Well, come.
At this point, you could reward if you wanted to.
Yeah, I've told him he's a good boy. Oh. Come on. Good boy.
You shouldered up your lead a little bit more, and then walk this way, almost into the dog. There you go. That's it.
No.
What you want to do is just keep the focus more this way.
Right.
Yeah. So a shorter lead means it's easier, and when you feel the tension on the lead, you want to be taking that tension straight off of that lead.
Okay. No.
Come this way towards me.
No.
Way towards me. There
No.
you go.
Good boy.
Be right. Relax your arm. I want towards me a little bit, almost off camera, like that. Come this way. Good boy, buddy. Look at me. Head up. Dog's not going anywhere, so head up, shoulders up.
You won't float away.
I know I've had the bad neck ever since I've had them. I'm
Yeah,
sure
no,
it's because
yeah,
I'm like
it's
this.
looking like this.
I know.
Head up, shoulders up. Everyone's a winner. My work here is done.
Does he always interfere?
Okay, so what I want to try and do is now have the both of you walking around together. Yeah, so basically exactly the same. Nice, short, relaxed leads and like a casual mooch. He's more likely to react when they're both together. So I want you to have your thumb ready on that button just in case. We'll see how they are in close proximity.
So it's a nice relaxed lead. Right.
5.
Right, they walk together.
Where's it go?
I'm going to turn right.
5 this way, buddy.
Let's walk straight on.
Oh,
Good
well
boy,
done, buddy.
Tez. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Good girl, Coco.
Clive, you want one of these?
Should be a relaxed lead. Should be over your other side, Kevin.
What is this? What I do?
Yeah, but that's the point. We've got to get her so that she's
This way.
Good.
Clive, this way.
shorten the lead so that your arms are relaxed. That's what Adam told me to do. So that your arm is relaxed with the lead. Just
Interestingly, I thought he was going to be worse. But he actually looks a little bit more settled.
Good girl. So,
there you are. So you're really behaving yourself,
He
boy.
is.
There you go. I can part with occasional little whine. You could go too. I can part with a little whine. It's when you start barking and pulling, you're not doing it.
Right, what I want to try, without chucking you in the deep end,
Live a treat.
I want Tezza in your right hand side,
Yeah,
and I want Coco in your left hand side.
right.
And then with your second set of hands,
Yeah.
you can reward and hold the doggy don't. The doggy don't, just chuck in your pocket for now.
Right, but
in the book.
in my pocket for now.
And then just find your nice little comfort spot on both leads, whatever suits you. Tezza on your right, Coco on your left.
Right.
And exactly the same thing. What I want you to try and do, and we'll see how messy it gets, is almost just forget they're there
Right.
and just walk.
Okay.
Don't worry about how it looks, don't worry about how it feels. Just kind of forget they're there for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah? And we'll just see how it pans out.
There's a challenge there, dogs. He said he's going to get messy. No messy.
Always remember, if you feel that, nice, if you feel that bit of tension, this is where you kind of got to split your brain in half a little bit because you don't want to correct the wrong dog at the wrong time.
Okay. Come. Good
Nice.
girl.
Well done, buddy.
Good girl. Right, yeah. Good dogums. Good girl. Good boy.
Nice.
Oh my God.
That's really nice from Tesla. He's just trotting along looking right up at you.